You were very young, played Ohio State. The idea was to share the load. I don't think anybody was able to do it. Now that you're here and you won a national championship, is that the perfect scenario that you could win it, but also not put all that tread on your tire?
Yeah, I think with the outcome like that, it's a perfect situation. Obviously, you don't think about that as a player, the particular workload. That's things that you can't control, but it worked out in both of our favors.
You rooming with him this week?
Sorry,
Are you rooming with Trey?
Yeah.
For splitting the backfield, what do you think the most underrated trait of your game is that you might have wanted to show a little bit more, but you just didn't have the chance?
I think when given an opportunity, anytime, just showing my game all around. That's what I did all year long. Pass catching the ball anywhere on the field, from the slot or the backfield. Obviously, running the ball in between the tackles and outside. So that's something I showed all year.
How beneficial was it for you to have Chip Kelly as your offensive coordinator last year? How was he as a coach, and did you get to meet with him this week as well?
Yeah, definitely got to meet with Coach Kelly. Great guy. Uses me all on the field. Having a guy like that in your locker room and in your corner as a coach, with that ability to give you so many different opportunities on the field and so many ways to give you the ball, it's amazing to see. So just to watch him draw things up throughout the year, it was great.
Quinshon, what do you think are the biggest ways you developed as a running back from your year at Ohio State?
Just to knowing what everybody else is doing on the field. With my game, with my year at Ohio State, I think just growing as a complete player, working on pass protection, getting better at little things I wanted to work on over the year, transferring from a different school.
What are the biggest things Carlos Loughlin did to help you become a better player?
I think just the way his approach to our room, and I would say just his mentality, he helps and it's contagious, his energy he brings, so I think it spreads.
Which you're in every room is loaded with talent, obviously. Talk a little bit specifically about Will Howard and everything that he showed for you.
Sorry, I couldn't.
Yes, so Will Howard's ways and how he helped orchestrate your offense, just all of that leading to the national championship.
Yeah, Will's a great guy. Has a lot of poise, very resilient, has great leadership. I think a lot of the guys in the locker room naturally come to him as far as his leadership, and he handled himself well along the way in the stretch towards the end of the season. So great to see him in that favor.
What do you appreciate most about your time with this before you transferred to Ohio State?
Definitely appreciate the opportunity. I got an offer from those guys when I was in ninth grade. Had a lot of recruitment and a great relationship with Coach Kiffin and Coach Smith. So just grateful for the opportunity that they gave me.
Have you spoken to the Pittsburgh Steelers during this process?
Sorry, what?
Have you spoken to the Pittsburgh Steelers during this process?
Yeah.
Was that a big name?
Yeah. Went really good. I'm looking forward to other meetings that I have coming up as well.
Which teams have you spent most time talking to so far?
I had a lot of formal meetings yesterday. It was a lot of different teams.
What stood out most about facing Mason Graham and Kenneth Graham this season?
Sorry, what?
What stood out most about facing Kenneth Graham and Mason Graham this season?
I think just great players as well, and I think with playing in that conference that I play in, you face a lot of different great players and so many talented guys that have different skill sets, and that's the hardest thing is being able to adjust to those things and find the differences on how you stop that.
How different does your body feel after this season compared to last year?
Feel great, especially when you play 17 games in the season. Feels amazing. Just being able to share that workload with Trey, and coaches just put me in the right position.
What are you going to do this week?
I plan on doing everything.
Quinshon, what should Ohio State people expect from James Peoples next year?
James is a great young man. Learned a lot. Me and Trey, with our leadership, taught him a lot of things. He got to see us and how we did and how we approach different things. So I think him just coming out in his second year, he'll grow a lot, and he's a very, very talented player.
How would you kind of describe his game?
Man, he's fast, a bigger back. I would say just a talented guy. You'll see for sure.
As you move along to the next level, talk about having been in the SEC for multiple years.
Yeah, man. Especially as a freshman playing in the SEC, it's different. A lot of bigger players, talented. Those guys is fast as well. So it's a lot of scheme that you have to come up with to be able to approach that and be able to compete with that. So I would say that was really the most big difference between the conferences.
Have you met the Steelers yet?
So sorry.
Have you met with the Steelers yet? Is that formal?
Yeah, it's formal.
How did that go?
It's really good.
Have you met with Tampa Bay?
Not as of yet, no. Yeah. For myself, I'm more of a comfort guy. I like comfortability. That's the most important thing for myself.
Quinshon, how do you think Brian Hartline's going to do calling plays this year?
And Heartline. Oh man, I think just With Coach Day, he's a great coach, man. Whoever he hires, that'll be great for him. And I think, he'll have no issue with that. Those guys can go out, have enough talent, a lot of talented guys in their locker room, and go out and get wins.
Growing up in a competitive state like that helped you develop that?
Sorry, what?
So being from the state of Alabama, being in a competitive state like that, how did that help you develop that?
I would say just being around so many talented players, especially at a younger age, so many guys that are highly recruited from so many different places, being able to compete and go out there and try to put yourself on the map. It's starting early. It helps you with your growth as a player and as a person and learning who you are and just having that mentality to compete and have that drive. I would say just at my position, really something that you can always work on is just pass pro. It's just one of the key things that you can always get better at, no matter if you're really good at it or whatever the situation is. It's something you can always critique yourself on.
Quinshon, you have such a good burst, but there are some questions about your long speed. Is that something that tomorrow you're going out to make a point?
Most definitely.
Any predictions?
You'll see.
Quinshon, even though you've only been so a year, talk about the biggest impressions and takeaways that you've had from Coach Day.
Man, Coach Day is a great coach. From my first time coming in, when I took a visit to Ohio State, when I was in the transfer portal, just the way when we sat down and how he explained how things are at Ohio State and what this culture means to not only him but to everyone else here. How I can contribute and help the team. Just every way he broke the game down for me, it was super important. And just getting to meet him for the first time, I got to see what type of man he was, and it meant a lot to me.
For a long time, running backs were beat down with Saquon, some of the other players. You feel like it's back on the upswing. That can help you train.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like when you look at the running backs in the NFL today, like Saquon, Derrick Henry, those guys producing at such a great high level, definitely helps the running backs like me and other guys in this class for sure.
Quinshon, yesterday Mecca talked about his meeting with the Raiders, and he just talked about how he was joking around with Chip Kelly and how it was a very light atmosphere. Can you say it was kind of about the same with your experience?
Yeah, most definitely. Just getting to see Coach Kelly again, seeing that smile on his face. It wasn't too long since I seen him last time, but it was a great environment. Had a great time seeing him again and talking with the other guys as well.
Quinshon, have you met with the Patriots?
No.
Quinshon, since the season, you guys have a very condensed timeline for here. How have you managed that?
Yeah, it was great, man. Not having a lot of time to prepare because we just played so soon, but just taking advantage of those days that I have and making the most out of them and doing what I'm best at. So just taking advantage of that.
Why did you decide to do the testing here? Some of the other Ohio State guys are waiting today.
I just felt, with the training that I had and the people I trained with, they prepared me the best, so why not?
How do you feel like that playoff run helped prepare you for the challenge you'll face in the NFL?
Yeah, so coming off that loss towards the end of the season and just the mentality we had as a team and that stretch that we had to go on and just really, man, just locking in with tunnel vision, going on a long stretch, trying to win all those games. So I think that just helped me as far as, going on in my future and how I approach things for sure.
What do you think it was about the team that really all came together after that Michigan game?
I think just how close we are, close-knit, and how we protect each other, have each other's back, and hold each other accountable. I think that's what was the difference maker in this year's team.
What's the difference?
Was there any change in your preparation for the national championship?
No, I'll say just approaching every game the same manner, same way, going about meetings, doing all the different small things, communicating with the O-line, making sure I'm on the right page with everybody. So just approaching it the same way and came out with the win.
What's the difference between adjusting to an NFL scheme versus the scheme you had under Chip Kelly at Ohio State?
Nothing really, man. I think at the end of the day, football is football. So, learning some NFL terminology, but at the same time, it's just still football.
Do you think going into more of a bell cow rule potentially based on this year, you and Trayvon got a split time? Do you think you're ready for that in a longer season ahead?
That's something that I already did. So coming into college, my freshman, sophomore year, our main guy, 1,500 yards, back-to-back season, 1,000 yards. So that wouldn't be an issue for me. So I'm a bigger guy with size, speed, vision, elusiveness, and power. Can run between the tackles, also outside, and just have natural great hands. So I think I haven't seen, any running back in today's NFL that can do what I do at my size, and especially, that's what I bring with my skill set to the game. I have some formals today coming up, yes.
Quinshon, you and Coach Lockton are from the same area. What's some of the best advice you give you in your last season in Ohio State?
Really just the relationship that we have. Coach Locke was a guy that I didn't just meet overnight. He recruited me as well at Florida State since ninth grade. And just to have that continuous relationship with him, it meant a lot to me. And he taught me a lot with the 1 year I had with him at Ohio State, just how to, be accountable and just continue to motivate others around me and continue to be positive. So he taught me and Trey a lot in that room. And I think it spread across the whole room with the way I led and just the leadership role I had.
Quinshon, what are your expectations for James Judkins this year?
Man, I think James is just such a great player, and not only him, but the other guys in the room as well. Those guys will all produce. They learned a lot from me and Trey, so I don't have any worries. Cool.